Hello, everyone. This is Tracy from Inspired Chi bringing you your August messages. We are starting out the energy of August with a lot of moving parts. So, you're going to want to be aware of that. We're going to start out with a new moon in Leo. Happy birthday to all my fellow Leos. And as we're doing that, we're going to start rolling into Mercury retrograde, which is always a good time, and we'll talk about that. And then one of my most favorite days of the year is the Lionsgate portal on 8/8. So I am going to put some information below because we are going to have, the first Sundays over at True Healing. We're going to do a lot with that energy. I am going to try and get that online for some of you who aren't close by. But we are going to do a Lionsgate activation. We'll do our meditation and all of that energy. Again, the information's below. But take advantage of that energy because that new moon is a great time to start new projects, even if the Mercury retrograde brings in some delays for that. And the 8/8 portal is wonderful for manifesting. So is Leo season in general because it's a fire sign. So make sure that you're, this Capricorn moon, we've left behind a lot. I know it hasn't been easy for a lot of different people going through it, some of them in the career, some of them in the family. It's all different. But this beginning is where we decide what intentions we have moving forward, where we're willing to continue to put our energy, and opening up space for new opportunities and people to come into our lives. So it's really exciting. And this reading is just going to be a little bit about what you can expect. So if you're new here, welcome. And you're going to choose between piles 1, 2, 3, wherever you felt the most drawn. And that's probably where your messages will be. If you feel drawn to another pile and you want to listen to something in there, that's fine. Keep in mind they are general readings, so not all of it may resonate for you, or it just might not be yours. But hopefully you will get a message at least of something that can help you at this time. But if you want to book a private reading, that information will be below, and that'll be all about you. And again, on the August 4th meditation over at True, we always, on the first Sunday's meditation, we do a raffle for all the participants to win a reading. And of course, there's always cards. So if you want them that are individual for you, there's an opportunity to do that. Okay, let's get started. Okay, if you chose 1, this would be the outside of your pile. Everybody has pretty much the same stuff, but that helps us to divide it a little bit. When I was shuffling for everyone, though, I got this, which is interesting because it is a lion, as we talk about Leo and the Lion's Gate. And this is the deep freeze. And I feel like this energy very much points to the Mercury retrograde. When there is delays that are going to be happening and there is going to be kind of like a timeout before forward movement. But that doesn't change the fact that your intentions and everything that you put forth into the portal energy, into the new moon energy is going to be important. One thing to pay attention to, I probably should have said this in the intro, but with the new moon in Leo, is Leo tends to, require a certain amount of attention. And not necessarily like, oh, look at me, but like when you're talking about the people in your lives and feeling connected and feeling important. And one thing that this new moon might bring up for you, whether you are a Leo or you're not, is you might be feeling a little bit insecure, maybe need a little bit more reassurance. So just pay attention if that's something that comes up in your energy, observe it, and don't react from that point if you can help it. Okay, what do we have here? Ooh, oh boy. So the ones have been having some interesting energies coming in here. All right, ooh, throwing it everywhere. First card's coming in is commitment, okay? 36 if you're a numbers person. And this can be in career, in a relationship, a business partnership, any type of commitment is going to seem to be what's happening here. And then you're getting the card of smoke and mirrors. So I really want to see what's going on with the tarot because it does seem like something's not clear. You might be dealing with someone or multiple people that are kind of just dancing around a subject, omitting information. I'm not saying this to freak you out. I'm just saying do your due diligence, read your contracts, ask the questions that maybe you're too afraid to ask, maybe because you don't want to know the answer. I'm not really sure. It's going to be different for everyone, but there is a lot of confusion around you right now regarding some type of commitment. 42 if you're a numbers person. Let's see what's happening with your cards. What cards do we have here? Knight of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, 5 of Swords. Okay. So the Knight of Pentacles is really like slow and steady wins the race. We're moving forward in there. This knight is actually a woman, which is, clearly a little bit the theme theme, although everyone's welcome to this reading. It's just the energy that was coming in. This is really slow and steady wins the race. You know, moving forward, planting seeds, starting to see that growth. But it's a knight energy. It's not a queen energy or a king energy. So while this is not a beginning energy, this is an energy that maybe needs to step up their game a little bit for the results that are coming. So this could be you or somebody around you. Take it as it resonates. The Pentacles deal with manifestations and health and, you know, things that are tangible in the physical reality, wealth as well. Then you're coming into, and this can go one of two ways, especially when you're dealing with a commitment. So if you're dealing with a commitment in a relationship, it almost looks like there's been a step back taken. Now, whether this is from you or the person that you're dealing with, going from the knight to a page in that situation is either dealing with things a little bit more immature, like in an immature matter, not having the emotional intelligence, or maybe not wanting to take that leap and kind of slowly backing away a little bit. Now, a lot of times this can happen from fear or doubt or that kind of thing and just be temporary. So just observe this if this happens for you during Mercury retrograde, this new moon, the activation. Okay, pay attention to the people around you. If this is in the matter of a career, this is actually better if we're looking at it that way, because then we have the Knight of Pentacles, something you've been building away at, and the Page of Pentacles shows up for you as an opportunity, okay? So a new opportunity coming in for you. So that could be a lot of beautiful energy in relating to things that you want to manifest. This could be if you're going, getting additional education, if you're, you know, doing something in your career, whether you have your own business, whether you're dealing with a field, you know, it's something to do with that. But again, if it is in a relationship, we are seeing that struggle here where there's kind of a bit of pullback. It could be on your side, it could be on their side. And then we're ending here. Well, we're not gonna end here on this card. We'll pull another one. But this here is the Five of Swords, and like it's almost like a couple. Okay, well, I guess it is a couple. He's almost in the shadows here. And they're just not on the same page. Five of Swords. There's been a lot of conflict, a lot of fighting. And maybe that's why the step back has been taken. We're gonna have to get into this a little bit more. As a matter of fact, I think I need to grab, hold 1 second. I'm just gonna grab an additional deck for this. Sorry about that, ones. I figured if I paused it, I'd probably have more of a chance of erasing your video than just not having that dead air for a minute. So sorry. Okay, let's get some energy on this real fast, because it does look like there's a lot of confusion around this. And it could be a situation where, like I said, maybe you haven't asked a question because you don't want to know the answer, or maybe you haven't asked a question because you assumed that you're on the same page. But, you know, if you're communicating during this time, make sure that any serious conversations that you're having are happening in person, or at least on the phone. Because if you're going to send a text message or an email, it's really easy to be misconstrued at this time and cause a host of problems. Because people take their inflections the way that they want to, right? So, Goddess of the Moon. Yeah, there's something with the moon. Okay. And getting some balance in here. All right. So regardless if this is career or relationship, let's talk about where it's headed. We have the Goddess of the Moon, okay, which means the moon cycles really affect you. So earlier in the video, I was talking about the new moon in Leo can bring up some insecurities, or kind of feeling like you're not being validated enough. And even if you're not like a pick-me girl or guy, or, you know, something like that, you can maybe feel a little bit more insecure and maybe needing a little bit more reassurance, or just really honestly just clarity. I feel like you would be fine if you had some clarity, and that would be okay. Also, your intuitive connection to the moon is really big. So whether it's new moons or full moons, watch your energies at a time. It's a good time to journal. Then you're having the Garden and the Gate, which is also this pause, right? Which we talked about. If you're the person going from the Knight to the Page because you're drawing back, this is the Garden and the Gate energy. Sitting here, she's got the key around her neck, and she's trying to decide if she wants to stay in the safe place that's already been all fenced in for her, if she's ready to walk out into the world and do something new. So that might be something that you're deciding upon. The Temple Path is coming next for you, which is a really spiritual connection. So over the next couple weeks, you may, again, your intuition's great. You're kind of feeling not so great about some of the outside connections. So it would be a great time to kind of go within and journal and just, I don't want to say keep your mouth shut, right? Because I mean, Lord knows I can't, but it might be a time, because you don't have all the information, to be gathering, excuse me, information that you're getting from your own intuition and your own feelings, but maybe before there's a confrontation, really writing them down and kind of understanding where you're coming from before approaching the person to ask the questions. But by all means, ask the questions if you need clarity about a situation, especially a business situation, because if you don't ask, you're not going to know. And if there's something here where I feel like someone is not on the same page with you, and you may think that they are, so just, or vice versa. Maybe there's something you haven't been forthcoming with somebody in your life, and that's going to come up for you around this time. So just be aware of that. Ultimately, we are ending with the yin yang, okay, which is a balancing energy, 22 if you're a numbers person, and it really is bringing you into balance. Okay, so whatever happens at this time, whatever falls away, allow it to fall away. Whatever comes forward, let it come forward. But because we have this energy in the beginning of this deep freeze here, don't get extremely frustrated when things aren't moving. Just use that time to go within and, like I said, channel that energy and your intuition. Write down what your feelings are. I don't know why I'm getting that, but protect your writing. So maybe some of you have a snooper around you. Maybe lock that up, okay? Either way, I think that what you need to do is be able to look at your own thoughts and feelings and intuitions regarding the situation, whatever it is, on paper, and reflect on that for a little while, because it does look like you're not going to have movement. And rather than bang your head up against a wall to try and get movement, or internalizing it to say, like, why is it my fault, or what's wrong with me, don't do that. It's not you. It is the time. It is the energy. Okay. But there's going to be some things that are revealed for you. And so before you move into that portal energy, which is bringing you forward onto the temple path, into the garden gate, you will be getting what you deserve in a beautiful way. It just might be not in the way that you expected. Okay, so go in with gratitude. Again, connect with yourself to see what it is that you really want, so that when it comes for you, you can either choose it or not. Good luck. Okay, twos, we're moving in. One of the cards I did pull for the collective, 26 if you're a numbers person, is Deep Freeze. And this is the energy which makes so much sense. You can't even plan that. We have that lion here, okay? So it is spirit connecting to the fact that we're exactly in the energy that we're talking about. But with this, I feel like this refers to the Mercury retrograde and the delays that are happening, and not to get too frustrated with the delays, almost to turn your attention to where you can be effective, or internally where you can figure some things out, and not be intent on the movement, because it will move, and when it moves, it's going to move really fast, but there might be a hold on something. So let's get your cards. You chose pile 2, and I know it's probably hard to see in the thumbnail, but this is what was on pile 2, Raphael, okay? So if you chose 2, you might be doing some healing, whether physical, spiritually, emotionally, all 3, okay? It's a good time for that. People get freaked out around Mercury retrograde, and there's good reason to get freaked out, but it's quite silly. A lot of what goes on during Mercury retrograde, it's just revisiting situations. So, I always say this, if your oil light's been on in your car for 3 weeks, and your car breaks down during Mercury retrograde, is it really Mercury retrograde, or is it the fact that you've not paid attention to the oil light for 3 weeks? When it comes to X is coming back, yes, that is a thing. Be aware of your boundaries, keep them in strong, and all of that. But let me tell you some good things happening during Mercury retrograde. Number 1, opportunities that you once missed can come back around, so keep your eyes out. Keep your eye out, whatever. And also, it's a great time to maximize healing, which is kind of where I started going with this in the first place before I got distracted. All right, what do we have? Opening to discovery, number 34. I love that. I had this nice meditation music on. I'm sorry if you can still hear the ice cream man behind it. This almost feels galactic to me. What beautiful energy, okay? You might be feeling more inspired at night if you can sit out on your porch, or if you're on vacation and you can get out and look at the stars. That's going to be a really good time for you, 1, to recharge your aura and your energy, but also to pick up some information. Yeah, because hold on a second. Because there's a key here, right? So there's something. You might even be getting information through dreams. Now we have 52 if you're a numbers person, magical map shifter. Some of you, well, you might be traveling, but some of you actually might be moving, and like not a little bit, moving kind of far away into another place. But either way, you're creating your next act, I kind of feel like, but in a way that it's going to seem sudden to the people around you, even though you might have been working on this internally for some time. You're just changing everything about who you are, but not to please other people. There's just this entire transformation and shift going on. Ooh. Oh. Oh, God. Okay. Sorry. I mean to scare you. You have 3 10s. All right. So I want to just say, when I was pulling cards out, and I never look at them until I turn the camera on because I like to do it together with you. You got 4 tarot cards, and not everybody did. Everybody got 3, but an extra one fell into your pile, and of course I'm going to take it because that's not me to judge, you know, if that's supposed to be for you or not. It is. So I'm not sure which was the one that fell out, but let's start with this. Temperance. It's healing. This is healing and bringing things into balance for yourself, for your equilibrium. This could be, if we're talking about physical issues, this could be your nervous system. This could be your balance. This could be, some of you may be healing from like a vertigo. I'm getting like a vertigo episode. I know the humidity's been really bad, but that might be something. But anyway, this is a major arcana, and this has a lot to do with healing. So between this and Raphael, plus the Mercury retrograde coming up, please do yourself a favor and get some rest and do some writing and do everything you can, because you have an accelerated path to healing at this time. Set the intention, put the energy out for that, because this can jump you like a timeline, and the fact that you might have been dealing with something for a long time that you weren't able to get over, and then poof, now it's time. Now let's talk about the fact that you just got 3 10s. Let's look at it this way, especially for those who like to also read. This is really interesting to me because we have the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Swords. What isn't here is my first question. We have all of the 10s except 1, so let's start there. What isn't here is a 10 of Wands, which is beautiful, but it's not. It's supposed to be lower. Because the 10 of Wands is being completely overburdened and reaching the end of a cycle. So the fact that I don't see that here means that you set some boundaries. You did something to clear out that. So whether you took some things off of your plate, whether you started saying no to things you didn't really want to do, or you put some really strong boundaries in place, that's pretty obvious here. And it may have been difficult for you to do, hence the other 10s, and we'll talk about that. But it was timely for you to do that. It was important that you did that. And truth be told, if you're feeling bad about it, please don't, because it would have kept going the way it was going. And I'll leave it at that. Okay, we have the 10 of Swords, which is a painful ending, okay? But when we get to this place of a painful ending, it's honestly because it's untenable at this time. We can't continue with it at this time. I haven't thought about that. I'm going to get back to it. The 10 of Pentacles is all about your legacy, okay? And that's where you're going. That's where you're heading. You're stepping into a place. It's like, what do I want to leave this world as? Like, what do I want to be remembered for? What do I want to leave to my children? What do I want to connect to with my students? What do I want to do? Like, however it resonates for you in your life, you're going to be connecting to your legacy now. Whatever this painful situation that could no longer go on, when you leave this and it drops from you, that with the absence of the 10 of Wands means all of the, no offense, bullshit that you've been carrying and you've been dealing with goes to the wayside. So you could focus on other things like your legacy, and the other 10, which is emotional fulfillment. Okay? So if it sucks right now and you're really scared and you're dropping things and you're feeling just completely overwhelmed, and like everything you do always just comes back to you having to put more effort in, okay? Because I know that you guys are not the type of people to just expect things to come from you. I know that you work hard. I know that you're grateful. I know that you do things, but it doesn't mean that everybody that you encounter is of the same energy and is worth your energy. And while this was an extremely hard lesson to learn, it was timely. So your spirit guides and your angels they're going to help you to move through this, not by ignoring the pain that you're feeling, but moving through it to a beautiful space. Because this one here is that rainbow. Okay. Opening to discovery, magical shape shifter, and the end of so many cycles. These are karmic cycles finally coming to an end, and they're coming to an end because you did something different. You did something differently, okay? And that's going to be different for all of you. I do feel like it's probably boundaries related, but you knew, you had the understanding that in order to get a new beginning, you had to stop. Oh my goodness. What a nuisance. I think that's specifically for you. What a nuisance that noise is outside when we just want some peace, right? I did say I was going to come back to this being untenable, and then I'm going to leave you with that. We could be in a situation that made us very happy at one time, and we could have just said weeks ago, oh my God, I'm so happy in this job, or this relationship's going so well. And then something quickly changes. And in that change, you realize that this situation that would bring you joy, or at least bring you peace, has now become untenable. And when that happens, it's because the universe is trying to move us. Okay? So, play ball here with the magical shapeshifter to have this beautiful new beginning. Again, pay attention to your dreams. You might be getting them in that way, or you might just be inspired at night, 3-4 in the morning, 34 there. And if you are, of course, you can try and go back to sleep. But if it doesn't happen very often and you don't have that much going on the next day, I would sit down in the middle of the night in the quiet when nobody's moving around in your home or your house or where you are, connect to self and spend a moment to really not necessarily grieve what happened, because I feel like you already did if you're at that place. But if you haven't, by all means. But really focus on what it is you want, because like I said, once Mercury retrograde, it's about 6 weeks, I believe. Once that moves out, things move really fast when it goes direct. So yeah, that might not be until September, but the intentions you set now and the actions that you take now will really dictate how that plays out for you, right? This is the energy available to you. It doesn't mean you do it. It doesn't mean you take it. You know, I say all the time, like I have, you know, obviously I do readings, personal readings, and sometimes they're right on point, and sometimes there's advice given that either someone isn't ready to take, and that's okay. You have your own timeline, or they just choose not to. Well, of course, that's going to change the opportunities that are available to you based on, you know, how you're reacting to them. So, a lot of changes for you twos, but I promise you it's going to be beautiful. So don't be scared. Step in. You deserve this. You deserve more. Reach out and get it. Good luck. Okay, last but not least, threes. You know, I'm sorry my hand's going over it like that. I did have a clicker for this when I first got it, but one of the first cards that I pulled for the collective is this card here, number 26. If you're a numbers person, see that Leo lion there? Deep freeze. So I believe this is connecting to Mercury retrograde and the delay and the slowing down and kind of going backwards. But take it how it resonates for you, okay? It could be about something else completely. But let's see what the rest of your cards say. Ooh, wow. Ears wide open. 33. Look at this card. Aren't these cards beautiful? I'm going to put the, in the information box below, I'll put a screenshot of all the decks I'm using in this reading today. All right. This means pay attention. Be listening to what's happening around you. There are clues. Pay attention. Pay attention to what other people are saying. Pay attention to what you're hearing. Pay attention to any of your synchronicities or repeating patterns. Okay. And slow and steady. Huh. You may want to go look at one's reading, but I'll get back to that in a second. Okay. Number 12, if you're a numbers person, slow and steady. Look at that. She's a snail here, right? But it's showing like, okay, little by little, we get to where we're going. Planting the seeds, moving forward. Just keep doing what you're doing there. But this ears wide open means just keep going, keep doing you, keep being available. Someone's paying attention. All right. I'd like to see who that is, but someone's paying attention. So listen, okay? Listen, and listen to not just what's being said, but what is not being said. Because again, going into the energy of Mercury retrograde, it's like a little bit of a puzzle, okay? Oh, okay. We have the Four of Pentacles, and this is really kind of holding on to everything that you had, not wanting to open up. If we're talking about this from a career and financial standpoint, it's really holding back and maybe saving. If we're talking about this from maybe a relationship standpoint, whether it's romantic, whether it's family, friends, there's something that you're holding back on. You're not showing all of your cards. You're keeping your cards close to the vest, and you're kind of hanging on to that. Then the other two we have here are majors, and they're majors, if that's a thing, right? Dun, dun, dun. This is karma. Big time. So Justice you're getting here, Lady Justice, she's coming in here to bring fairness to a situation that has been unfair. So if you have, bring justice to a situation that has been unfair. So if you've been dealing with something where, you've been putting in all this effort, you've been doing all of this and you're not seeing back, or especially if you have court dates coming up, this bodes well for that, okay? Sometimes we do not deliver our own karma. Well, most of the time we don't deliver our own karma, right? We don't like to get our hands dirty. We let karma do its job because it always will, okay? And this is bringing in justice. So this is fairness to a situation, but also here's my karma card. Judgment. This is the sum of all your actions up until now and what they're worthy of. Do you ever hear that someone say to you, or someone say in general, oh, have the day you deserve, right? That always makes me laugh a little bit. But this judgment is, if you've been, plodding away, doing good, like everything that you can, and things just have not been going your way, you have a tide turn coming in your favor, even if it's delayed, even if it's slow and steady, okay? But if you really haven't been on the up and up and you haven't been doing right by yourself or others, or there's something karmically that you would call into question, it's a very good chance that during this time period, something's going to be revealed and you're going to have to deal with it. So I would just, now I know everyone who's watching this is a wonderful person, so it's going to be all good karma coming your way. I'm just giving you the heads up because sometimes we do stray into our shadow, that if you're leaning towards a road that's not so filled with love and light, I would pay a lot of attention to that, because you're going to get caught point blank with the Judgment card here and the Justice card here. Again, you all have lessons to learn in life. I'm not judging where you are in your journey. I'm just saying watch back if that's where you're headed. However, if it's not, this slow and steady here with you kind of, holding on, keeping your cards close to the vest, working slow, moving forward, Justice coming in for you, Judgment coming in for you. This is your guides calling Judgment because they're seeing something that they don't like, okay? This could be from the people around you. This could be even the people in your own family. But this could be people, this could be coworkers, this could be friends. This would be when Spirit steps in. There's a saying, I don't know why I'm doing all sayings in your reading, but it must be something to do with one of your guides. One of the sayings, oh God, and it just fell right out of my head. Well, I guess if it was important, it'll come back. Oh, that's it. God removed, or whatever you believe in, doesn't matter, okay? God, it could be the universe, it could be whatever. Removed people and situations from your life because they heard conversations that you didn't, okay? And that's the energy I'm getting from this reading. That's what this feels like. Between the ears wide open, you just moving slow and steady, kind of keeping to yourself, and your guides coming in like, nope, here's Justice, here's Judgment. We're changing this situation for you. Now, I don't see a Tower card here for you, so I don't feel like it's going to be an unexpected upheaval. I think what's going to happen is you're probably aware of what I'm talking about. And the connection with you in spirit right now, that connection is strong, okay? So know that you're protected, know that you can, connect with your intuition, pray in whatever way that feels comfortable for you, and kind of, I want to say sit back, like pay attention, but also kind of sit back and let things unfold. You in this space of you keeping your cards close to your vest is exactly where you need to be. Okay, so you're doing the right thing. Keep doing you. This deep freeze, again, it might feel like you've been doing the right thing for so long and just sacrificing for everyone for so long, and then you get to a place where there isn't a payoff. And sure, we don't do things for the payoff, but it still sucks when you put so much energy and time into something, and when it comes back around, it doesn't deliver. That's what's happened here, and it seems like it's happened several times with several situations. This kind of does, I mean, and take it how it resonates for you. This doesn't really feel romantic to me. This feels like someone dealing with either some type of real estate. So whether that's selling a house, buying a house, trying to find a place, something like that, or work life, career. That's what this feels like to me. Yeah, there's a house here. So some of you might be having that. Getting justice into a situation where you really weren't feeling that before. But ears wide open, pay attention to what's going on around you. Listen when people are talking to you, and listen to the signs that Spirit's trying to send you. Listen to the radio, okay? Or if you would like to listen to Spotify or whatever, listen to it on shuffle, because I also kind of feel for you guys that you're going to get some communication through songs. And I do want to bring one more into this just to kind of close this up for you. And look, I'm not trying to freak you out, like, ooh, karma's coming for you. It doesn't really feel like it's for you, but karma is coming. So that's always nice. There's a whole theme here. I know that we're working on the energies of August, but like, if you go back and you listen to the other ones, the other readings, they had that same type of energy, not this exact message. But there's so many cycles closing and coming to an end, and so many karmic relationships falling from the wayside to have this fresh start. And I know that we always do that when, I feel like September is back to school and it's a whole new life for everybody. But what I'm saying is you have Mercury retrograde, which can speed up your healing. You're in Leo season, which can speed up the things that you're trying to do if you need to light a fire. But I don't feel like you do. I feel like you need to just watch this play out. Gabriel, yep. Speak your truth. Do some writing if that's helpful to you. But this is really just justice. Justice. So I hope this works out for you. I know that you deserve it. So do your very best to keep your ear to the ground, right? To find out what's happening there. To find out what it is that you need to hear and to know, because Spirit is protecting you and they will make you aware of a situation. But again, keep those cards close to your vest because no one needs to know your business. Good luck.